Alright, in this section here we're going to be applying some of the stuff that we learned earlier. So let's take a look at this application problem. Find two consecutive positive integers such that its product is 72. Two consecutive integers such that its product is 72. Here's an example. Let's say here's two consecutive integers. 10. Well, wouldn't you know it? What are we doing here? Wouldn't you know it? Okay, here's an example. Let's say, for example, the first integer was 10, and the next integer, consecutive integer, would be 11. And then if we multiplied them together, 10 times 11 is 110. So you see those are two consecutive integers, 10, then 11, and if you multiply them together you get 110. So that's just an example of what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and clear that out. Okay, so we're going to need to set up an equation. So let's do that. So we're going to let the first integer be x, right? This is our unknown. And then considering it's a consecutive integer, the next one obviously would be x plus 1. X plus 1. Now we want to take their product, which we simply just multiply both of them together. X times x plus 1. And what did we say their product's equal to? 72. So you see, we just wrote us an equation. Now what we need to do is solve for x. Let's do that. Okay, so x times x, we're going to distribute this x across. And then x times 1. So plus x is equal to 72. Let's get this thing in that standard form that looks like a quadratic equation. X squared plus x. Bringing the 72 over makes it a minus 72. Now it's in the standard form. We need two numbers to multiply together that's going to give us the 72, and when we add them, we're going to get this coefficient out here which has a coefficient of 1 that's in front of the x. So two numbers multiply together, and then we take their difference, we're going to get 72. So let's look at 8 and 9. So we'll just go ahead and write it out. All right, we're going to write out what we know here. So 8 and 9, because we know when we multiply 8 and 9 together, we get 72. And when we take their difference, we want to get a 1, but it's a positive 1. So we're going to make the 9 positive, and we'll throw a minus sign in there. See that? So minus 8 times, or you could think of negative 8 times 9 is negative 72, and when we add them we get a positive 1. So that's pretty simple. So setting both of our terms equally to 0, and then of course we solve for x, so we get x is equal to 8 and x is equal to negative 9. Now, we come back up to here, okay? So if x were 8, this would be the first one, then we plug in 8 here. 8 plus 1 is 9. So there's our two consecutive integers, 8 and 9. Okay, two consecutive positive integers. If you remember right, let's look back up here. What does it say? Positive. Okay, positive integers. Our other possible solution was the -9. -9 was our other possible solution. But if you plugged it in right here, you'd end up with a -9, and then -9 plus 1 is -8. But what did we say? They must be positive integers. Positive integers. Okay? Alright. So I guess we'll stop with that. I think we got a couple more or so maybe to work that are similar to this problem. They get a little bit more complicated. Alright, I'll see you there.